Hey, it's Joe, and welcome back to Humanfluence. Now, what if everything you've ever known, the people, the places, the choices you've made, wasn't entirely real? What if beneath the surface there was an underlying code, shaping every moment of your existence, guiding your decisions without you even knowing? In The Matrix, we are invited to explore this very question. Neo's journey isn't about escaping a computer simulation. It's a deep dive into what it means to awaken, to see beyond the illusions. The Wachowskis didn't just create a film. They layered it with hidden symbols, cryptic messages, and profound references, each one hinting at the nature of our own reality, from philosophical underpinnings to biblical references, from Greek mythology to cyberpunk dystopias. The Matrix is more than a movie. It's a documentary. It's a wake-up call. Are we too living in a matrix? In this video, we'll take a look at 100 hidden Easter eggs and symbols, each a clue to the mystery of reality itself, weaving together philosophy, mythology, and the metaphysical. So buckle up, take the red pill, and follow me down the rabbit hole. Let's begin. It all starts with the name Neo. But he's not just any hacker. His very name is an anagram of one, signaling his destiny as the one, the savior of humanity within the Matrix. He is destined for something greater, but before he can even begin to understand that, he's trapped in his old life, living in room 101. Room 101, this number isn't random. It recalls Orwell's 1984, where room 101 is a place of ultimate fear and truth. For Neo, it's where his journey begins, where he starts to confront the illusions of his own reality. How does his journey begin? With a message. A strange signal telling him to follow the white rabbit. A clear reference to Alice in Wonderland. This rabbit will lead Neo down into a world far stranger than he ever imagined. Just like Alice, Neo is about to fall into a reality that challenges everything he thought he knew. The Plato's cave allegory comes into play here. Like the prisoners in Plato's cave, Neo begins seeing only shadows, believing the illusions projected in front of him are reality. His entire existence up until now has been a digital shadow of the truth. Enter Morpheus, whose name comes from the Greek god of dreams. He is Neo's guide, the one who helps him wake up from the dream of the Matrix. But how does Morpheus begin this awakening? With a choice, the red or blue pill. This moment reflects an ancient philosophical dilemma. Should we choose truth, even if it's painful, or continue living in comfortable ignorance? The red pill symbolizes knowledge and awakening, while the blue pill keeps one trapped in the comforting lie of the Matrix. The Matrix itself mirrors Maya, the Hindu and Buddhist concept of illusion. Just as in these spiritual traditions, those trapped within the Matrix are blind to the real nature of existence, accepting the false world presented to them. When Neo is pulled out of his pod, weak and covered in amniotic fluid, his pod birth represents more than just physical emergence. It's his spiritual rebirth. Like being born again, he is now a blank slate, ready to see the world with new eyes. But even after being reborn, Neo's journey is plagued with questions about free will and fate. When he meets the Oracle, she tells him not to worry about breaking the vase, and then he immediately breaks it. This simple moment encapsulates the central paradox of the film. Did Neo have free will, or was his action predestined? It's a reflection of the deeper question. Can we ever truly have free will? Or are our actions scripted by unseen forces? Then there's Agent Smith, the relentless enforcer of the system. His black sunglasses reflect everything, showing that the agents are detached from the emotions of the world they police, cold observers of a reality they do not participate in. Smith embodies control, but he is more than just a program. He is also Neo's shadow, the dark force Neo must confront within himself in order to fully awaken. And what does Smith think of humanity? In one chilling scene, he calls humans a virus, a parasitic force consuming the planet's resources. His words are a reflection of real-world anxieties about human overconsumption, environmental degradation, and the destructive tendencies of our species. Meanwhile, Neo's journey is all about realizing that reality is malleable. In the famous bullet-dodging scene, we see him bending time and space as the bullets slow down and curve around him. This scene reflects the deeper truth that within the Matrix, the laws of physics are just part of the illusion, constructs that can be bent by those who understand the nature of the code. We can't talk about the Matrix without mentioning those iconic green lines of code. This cascading code represents the underlying fabric of the digital world Neo inhabits, a constant reminder that reality, at least within the Matrix, is little more than a series of ones and zeros, a sophisticated program written to control the human mind. Neo himself becomes a modern Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods, or in this case, knowledge from the machines, to bring it back to humanity. But this isn't just a simple story of man versus machine. There are layers of cosmic symbolism embedded in the world of the Matrix. Take Zion, the last human city, hidden deep underground. This name is a direct biblical reference, invoking Zion as the city of God, the ultimate sanctuary of truth. It represents the last hope for humanity, a physical and spiritual refuge from the Matrix, hidden beneath layers of illusion. It exists in duality with the Matrix itself, much like yin and yang, two opposing forces that balance the world. And then we meet the Merovingian, a shadowy figure whose name is tied to the ancient bloodlines of kings, believed to be descended from Christ. His obsession with causality, the idea that every action has a consequence, mirrors the film's exploration of fate and free will. He believes that free will is an illusion and that everything is bound by the laws of cause and effect. Let's not forget Trinity, Neo's guide and partner. Her name evokes the Holy Trinity, symbolizing unity and balance between mind, body, and spirit. She plays the role of the spiritual force in Neo's journey, grounding him in both love and reality. Her role mirrors Mary Magdalene, whose love and sacrifice were central to Christ's journey. When Trinity resurrects Neo with a kiss, she isn't just saving his life, she's completing the cycle of death and rebirth that make Neo the savior. But to fully understand the Matrix, we must delve into the architect, the cold, calculating figure who reveals himself as the true creator of the Matrix. He's a clear parallel to the Gnostic demiurge, a flawed creator of the material world and Gnostic tradition. The architect is not the omniscient god of creation, he's a flawed being, unable to create a perfect system. He may pull the strings, but even he is part of a greater cycle. Bowing to the ultimate power of the Deus Ex Machina, the literal god of the machine world. And while these grand metaphysical themes play out, the Wachowskis sneak in subtle references to real-world events. Look closely at Neo's passport. It expires on September 11th, 2001. A subtle and eerie foreshadowing of the world-changing events to come. From the beginning, we are also clued into the philosophical underpinnings of the movie. In one of the earliest scenes, Neo hides his illegal hacking equipment and a copy of Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation, a philosophical text that argues our world is full of symbols and simulations, representations more real than reality itself. The book directly parallels Neo's journey. The world he thought was real is merely a construct, a shadow of the true world behind it. The metaphors become even more vivid when Neo is resurrected. His rebirth doesn't evoke just Christ, it mirrors the phoenix, the mythical bird that rises from its ashes, reborn anew. Neo's resurrection shows us that death is not the end, it's merely a gateway to a higher form of existence. But Neo's journey isn't just about personal transformation. His ongoing battles with Agent Smith become more than just physical confrontations. They represent the eternal struggle between light and dark, freedom and control. Smith is more than Neo's enemy, he is the other side of the same coin. Their battle is one of balance, much like the Jungian shadow, where Neo must integrate the darker aspects of himself to reach true enlightenment. The woman in the red dress is another symbol of distraction and temptation. In the training program, she pulls Neo's attention away from the mission at hand, symbolizing how the material world seduces us, keeping us from seeing the larger picture of reality. And then there's Morpheus's white room, the blank construct where anything is possible. The room represents the limitless potential of the mind, a canvas where reality is not yet written. It's a space free from illusion, where Neo begins to understand that his powers are not just about physical strength, but about belief. As Morpheus says, what is real? How do you define real? Reality within the Matrix is defined by the mind. The role of faith is crucial in the film, too. Niobe's faith in Neo, despite all odds, reflects a central theme of the trilogy, the importance of belief in shaping reality. Just as the people of Zion put their faith in Neo as the One, their belief in him drives the rebellion forward, even when all hope seems lost. Throughout the film, green dominates the visual palette whenever characters are inside the Matrix. This green hue is reminiscent of old computer screens, constantly reminding us that everything we see is part of a digital construct, a coded reality. It's the visual manifestation of the Matrix's control over perception and senses. Neo's pod birth earlier in the film echoes when we see the Sentinels, those terrifying machine creatures that swoop through the real world. Their design with multiple eyes and serpentine tentacles mirrors the ancient concept of an all-seeing eye, a symbol of omnipresent surveillance and control. But control is only an illusion, and Neo's journey is about learning to bend reality with belief. We see this clearly in Spoon Boy's wisdom, "There is no spoon." This line is a direct reflection of Buddhist philosophy, suggesting that reality is a mental construct, and by detaching from it, we can reshape it as we wish. The Nebuchadnezzar, Morpheus' ship, is named after the biblical king Nebuchadnezzar, known for his prophetic dreams. This ties into the theme of prophecy and the role that dreams play in shaping reality throughout the trilogy. Neo's battle with Agent Smith, who evolves into a virus, represents the breakdown of the system itself. Smith is no longer a tool of the Matrix. He's a rogue element, seeking to overwrite reality with his own version of control. This mirrors real-world fears of unchecked power and how systems can corrupt from within. As Neo loses his physical sight in Revolutions, he gains the ability to see the energy of machines and golden light. This symbolizes the awakening of his inner vision, the spiritual insight that transcends physical senses. And let's not forget the Train Man, who controls passages between the Matrix and the real world. His role as the gatekeeper parallels Charon, the ferryman of Greek mythology who transports souls across the river of Styx to the afterlife. Even Neo's death in the real world carries deep significance. When he sacrifices himself to save Zion, it's not a physical death. It's a symbolic death of his old self, the ultimate act of selflessness, mirroring Christ's sacrifice. Through this act, Neo ascends beyond the material world, showing us that light always conquers darkness.
3, 2, 1.
Then there's the Keymaker, who opens literal and metaphorical doors for Neo. He acts as a psychopomp, a guide who helps Neo navigate through the labyrinth of the Matrix to unlock the path to enlightenment. Each moment in the Matrix invites us to look deeper. Even Agent Smith's license plate contains hidden meaning. It references Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, a biblical verse about God creating a smith who destroys. This subtle reference hints at Smith's destructive role within the Matrix. Neo's journey follows the archetypal hero's journey, from the call to adventure through death and resurrection to his ultimate return as the Savior. His final crucifixion pose solidifies his role as a Christ figure, sacrificing himself for the salvation of humanity. And then we have the broader concept of Plato's cave, where the matrix itself serves as the ultimate illusion, a world of shadows and half-truths, where the masses are kept from seeing the light of true reality. And so we've arrived at the end of our journey, 100 symbols, hidden meanings, and Easter eggs, each offering a window into a reality more complex than it seems. Each one an invitation to look deeper, to question more, to wonder, just as Neo did. What is real and what is illusion? In the end, just like in the Matrix, the answer isn't simply found in escaping. The answer is to awaken and realize that perhaps we've been in control all along. Humanfluence, out. Hey everyone, it's Joe and welcome back to Humanfluence. Before we dive into today's video, which I encourage you to stay until the end, we're going to cover a lot. I want to mention my books, Solutions, Spirit Over Matter, and Echoes of Empire, How Rome Never Fell. All of these books cover in depth all of the stuff we love to cover here on this channel. In Solutions, I explore how practical wisdom can help us resolve the inner conflicts that shape our external world. Echoes of Empire traces the deep patterns of history and culture that influence collective consciousness. And in Spirit Over Matter, I examine the age-old divide between the material and the spiritual, arguing that this division is an illusion, one that has been shaped by human thought, but is ultimately false. I have a new book dropping as well, called Minefield. It expands upon these ideas, pulling them together to offer a cohesive understanding of how everything, from the vast galaxies to the smallest particles, is interconnected through our minds. Now, on to today's video. There comes a point in everyone's life when the illusion begins to crack. It might happen in a moment of deep despair or in a brush with death. Maybe it's a sudden, inexplicable insight that jolts you awake. That moment, the moment where nothing seems to make sense anymore, where the structures you've come to rely on collapse, and when you begin to see the truth. You see, we live in a world designed to keep us asleep, trapped in a dense material reality. It's a system, an energy matrix, a mental matrix, built entirely on illusion. We're taught that the only value is what we can see, touch, and measure, while the deeper truth remains hidden. But the thing is, this veil that's over our eyes, this illusion we're living in, it's not the full story. And once you start to question it, once you start peeling back the layers, that's when you start to remember. Spiritual traditions all over the world have talked about this. They call it the veil of forgetfulness. The moment we're born, we forget everything we knew from past lives. Everything we've learned as souls. But why? Why would we choose to forget? Because this world, this dense material existence, it's supposed to challenge us. It's a school for the soul, a place where we experience duality in all its forms, light and dark, joy and suffering, life and death. If we didn't forget, we wouldn't be able to fully experience the lessons of this life. But here's where it gets deeper. This isn't just about being stuck in material existence. This is about waking up to the truth. This is about remembering who we really are. As we live in this duality, as we experience the highs and the lows, we're constantly being guided back toward that truth. So reincarnation, the idea that we live again and again, isn't a punishment for past wrongs. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep evolving. Each life is a chapter in the soul's journey. And while we forget our past lives, that knowledge is never truly lost. It's stored deep within us, just waiting to be tapped into and remembered. This world, the world of space and time, of form and matter, it's been set up to challenge us. It's an energy matrix that keeps us bound to the surface of reality, distracted by desires, fears, and limitations. But the truth, The truth is that we are so much more than this. We are not bound by space or time. We are not limited by these bodies we inhabit. We are eternal souls, infinite beings of light. These meat suits we wear, they're just temporary vessels. They let us experience the material world, but they're not who we are. And here's the thing. Dying is easy. Those who have had an NDE will tell you. It's like something we've done hundreds, even thousands of times before. It's like taking off an old coat. They describe it as a feeling of familiarity, like going home. And when we cross over, we remember. We remember all the lives we've lived, all the lessons we've learned, the struggles, the pain, they all make sense in the light of the bigger picture. Near-death experiences are more than just glimpses into the afterlife. There are cracks in the matrix. They show us that this physical world is not the ultimate reality. People who come back from these experiences talk about realms of light, of love. They talk about how the boundaries of the self dissolve, and they are reunited with the divine source. They remember that this world, the one we're so deeply immersed in, is just a temporary illusion. But the matrix tries to pull us back in. Society dismisses these experiences, labels them as dreams or hallucinations, because the matrix doesn't want us to wake up. It thrives on our ignorance, on our belief that we are just physical beings, limited by time and space. But as more people wake up, through NDEs, through mystical experiences, through these cracks in the system, the truth is getting harder to ignore. And this duality we experience, the constant push and pull between spirit and matter, it's essential. It's what drives us to seek, to grow, to evolve. Without the darkness, we wouldn't appreciate the light. Without the suffering, we wouldn't understand the joy. The duality is built into the very fabric of existence, not as a punishment, but as a teacher. It challenges us to rise above it, to remember our true nature and awaken to the fact that we're not just these bodies, not these minds. We are infinite spiritual beings. And we've got research to back it up. Dr. Jim Tucker's work shows us that consciousness isn't confined to this body. Children who remember past lives give detailed, verifiable accounts of places and events they could not possibly know. And this isn't just fantasy, it's evidence. It shows that our souls persist beyond death, that reincarnation is real, and that we carry the wisdom of countless lifetimes within us. This matrix we live in, it isn't invincible. It distracts us, it tries to keep us asleep, but it also gives us opportunity to transcend, to see through the illusion, to remember who we truly are. And as we wake up, as more of us wake up, the matrix begins to unravel. The systems of control that have kept us bound to the material world, fear, separation, materialism, they'll fall away. What's coming? A new world, a world built on truth, unity, the recognition of our shared divinity. And this isn't just a personal awakening, it's a collective one. When enough of us remember, the matrix can no longer hold its power. The systems of fear and control will collapse, and what emerges is something far greater than we can imagine. This journey we're on, it's a journey through duality, through the illusion of separation, back to the truth of our infinite nature. Once we see it, once we feel it, nothing in this world will ever hold us down again. The veil is thinning. Time to awaken is now. And when enough of us remember, the world will never be the same again. Now, if waking up were easy, everyone would be doing it. But the truth is, there are roadblocks, many of them, systems and structures designed to keep you in the dark, to keep you from realizing your true potential. These roadblocks are the matrices we live in, and they're everywhere. They're in our culture, our institutions, and even in our own minds. Think of Plato's cave. In his allegory, people are chained in a cave, forced to look at shadows on the wall, believing that's all there is. They don't know that the shadows are cast by real objects outside the cave, or that there's a whole world beyond their limited vision. And the moment someone escapes the cave and sees the truth, they're blinded by the light at first. It's overwhelming. But once their eyes adjust, they realize that everything they thought they knew was a lie. Now imagine trying to go back and tell the people still in the cave what you've seen. They wouldn't believe you. In fact, they'd probably call you crazy. That's the first roadblock. The mental matrix. The conditioning we've received from the moment we're born. We're programmed to accept the shadows on the wall as reality. We've been taught that this world, this material existence, is all there is. The system doesn't want us to question it. In fact, it goes out of its way to prevent us from even thinking outside the box. Just like in the movie The Matrix, most people aren't even aware they're in one. The Matrix hides in plain sight. It distracts us with entertainment, consumerism, empty pursuits, so we never stop and question the system itself. Let's talk about religion. No, I'm not here to bash anyone's faith, but we have to face the fact that religion has often stepped in as a mediator between us and the divine. Instead of helping us connect directly to the source, it has, at times, positioned itself as a gatekeeper. It tells us that we can't experience the divine on our own, that we need a priest, a church, a set of rules, or an institution to tell us what to believe. And in many cases, it uses fear to keep us in line. Fear of damnation, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside the bounds of what's been taught. This is a powerful roadblock to awaken. Because when we rely on an external authority to tell us what God is, what reality is, we're giving away our own power to connect with the divine directly. Then there's government. Governments, at their core, are supposed to serve the people. But we've seen time and time again that the game has become one of power and profit. Governments don't want an awakened populace. An awakened person is harder to control. So what do? They create systems that feed off our fears, our insecurities, and our ignorance. They set up rules, laws, and structures that keep us locked in cycles of survival, struggling to make ends meet, too distracted by our daily grind to even consider deeper questions about life. It's a rigged game. Whoever controls it is not interested in creating a world where everyone thrives. They're interested in maintaining power. And if that means keeping us asleep, feeding us misinformation, and pitting us against each other, so be it. As long as we're divided, we're easier to control. Which brings us to education. Schools should be a place where young minds are nurtured, where curiosity is encouraged, where the next generation is taught how to think critically and explore the world. But what do we see instead? Schools that teach false history, that leave out crucial parts of our human story, that focus on memorization over understanding. The education system in many places has become more about creating obedient workers than free thinkers. Kids are fed unhealthy food, asked to sit in rows for hours, and are taught to regurgitate information rather than explore the world for themselves. And the curriculum, it's designed to keep certain narratives in place while conveniently ignoring others. It doesn't teach us about the power of our consciousness, the nature of reality, or the importance of spiritual growth. It teaches us to conform. And let's not forget the media. The media has an extraordinary power to shape public opinion, to decide what's important, and to dictate what the masses focus on. But the media too is part of this matrix. It's owned by a handful of corporations whose main interest is profit, not truth. The news cycle feeds us fear, drama, division, and distraction. It keeps us glued to our screens, feeding off the energy of outrage, anxiety, and stress. and people love it. It shows us a world of problems with few solutions, and in doing so, it keeps us feeling powerless. The media would have us believe that the world is a chaotic, dangerous place, when in reality it's far more complex, far more beautiful than we're ever shown. And then there's the food we eat. The system we live in isn't designed to nourish us. Again, it's designed for profit. We're bombarded with processed foods, chemicals, and toxins that harm our bodies and cloud our minds. The connection between what we eat and how we feel isn't emphasized nearly enough. But the food system is part of the matrix too. Keep people sick, keep them tired, keep them disconnected from their bodies, and you make them easier to control. If we're too busy dealing with health problems, too low on energy, too out of touch with our own vitality, how are we supposed to wake up to the bigger truths of existence? Finally, the economy. Most of us are locked in a system that demands we work just to survive. We spend our lives trading time for money, caught in a loop that keeps us busy, stressed, and again distracted. We're taught to measure our success by how much we earn, how much we own, how well we compete in this capitalist framework. But what's the real cost? We're trading our time, our most precious resource, for the illusion of security. We're so busy chasing the next paycheck, the next promotion, that we forget to ask, is this what life is about? Is this all there is? All of these roadblocks, religion, government, education, media, food, economy, they create a web that keeps us trapped in the matrix. They distract us from our true purpose, our true power. They are the shadows on the wall in Plato's cave, but there is a way out. The first step is to see the shadows for what they are, illusions. And the second step is to turn around and walk toward the light. It won't be easy. These systems have been in place for a long time, and they're designed to keep us exactly where we are. But once we start questioning, once we start waking up, the matrix starts to weaken. The more of us who wake up, the less power these systems have over us. Together, we can break free from these roadblocks, from the matrix that holds us back. And when we do, we step into a new reality. A reality where we are free to explore, to create, to connect with a higher power on our own terms. A reality where we reclaim our power, not just as individuals, but as a collective. This is the next step in our evolution. This is the awakening we've been waiting for. Are you in? Humanfluence out.
Hey, it's Joe with Humanfluence. I'm excited to introduce to you my new book, Solutions. This book explores who we truly are, eternal souls on a human journey, and offers insights to help you navigate life's challenges. Inside, I dive into ancient philosophies, world religions, and spiritual traditions that have shaped belief systems today, from Hermeticism to esoteric teachings and beyond. You'll learn about the role of synchronicities, intuition, and dreams, and how these universal experiences can guide your spiritual path. Solutions also explores the deeper metaphysical principles, such as the collective unconscious and the laws of the universe, which impact our lives in profound ways. To help you on your path, I've included practical psychic exercises to hone your intuition, deepen your connection to the unseen world, and awaken your psychic abilities. Whether you're looking to break free from limiting beliefs, transform your life, or simply understand the bigger picture. Solutions. Transforming your life through esoteric wisdom. Grab your copy on Amazon today. There's a link in my description, and I'll leave one in the comments. Humanfluence out.
Imagine this. You're not watching a movie, you're living one. And the plot? It's bigger than anything Hollywood could script. It's about you. your life, your reality, and the truth hidden just beneath the surface. What if I told you that the world you think you know might not be what it seems? That behind the everyday motions, the job, the routine, the social media scrolling, the endless emails, the meetings that feel like they go on forever, the quick trips to the grocery store, paying the bills, keeping up with the news, sitting in traffic, zoning out to Netflix, following the workout schedule, hearing your phone ping with notifications, planning the weekend that never feels long enough, managing family commitments, remembering birthdays, attending school events, catching up on laundry, scrolling through headlines, juggling work deadlines, squeezing in self-care, trying to stay healthy, organizing the house, prepping for the next day, and crossing items off a never-ending to-do list. There's something else at play. A system designed to keep you asleep, to keep you from realizing the full power of your own existence. Sound like science fiction? Think again. The Matrix isn't just a movie, it's a metaphor for the reality we're all living in. But here's the twist. It's not just Neo that has to wake up. It's all of us. In this deep dive, we're going to unpack how this film mirrors the very world we live in, and how it challenges us to wake up, see the truth, and break free from the systems that bind us. As you watch this and listen, consider for a moment that The Matrix might not be just a science fiction movie. It's a reflection of the systems that shape our lives every day. Systems of control, surveillance, and illusion that we often don't realize we're part of. Think about how we live in a world where our choices are subtly manipulated, our identity is shaped by what we consume online, and our reality blurred by digital distractions. Like Neo, we're faced with a choice. Continue moving through life, unaware of the forces that guide us, or start asking the uncomfortable questions. It's not some far-off dystopia. This is about the world we live in right now. The question is, how deep are you willing to look? And what are you willing to see when the veil is lifted? Welcome to the real-life documentary where the story is your life, and the question is, will you take the red pill? I mean, ever wonder if you're like the only one awake in a world of sleepwalkers? You know, sometimes it feels like you're surrounded by people just going through the motions, almost like they're stuck in their own loops, oblivious to the deeper truths just beneath the surface. You might hear them be called NPCs, non-player characters, people who seem to exist in a program, unaware of the real game being played. If that hits home for you, if you're one of the few who can see past the surface, then you're already starting to break free. And that brings us to The Matrix, a movie that's really about more than dodging bullets in slow motion. It is about the journey to waking up and seeing the truth behind the world we live in. But here's the thing, escaping the Matrix isn't just about freeing your mind. It's about having the courage to face reality as it really is, with all the discomfort and uncertainty that comes with it. At its core, The Matrix invites us to question one thing, reality. It poses that unsettling idea, is the world we experience truly real, or is it an elaborate illusion? It's this question that Neo, our main character, wrestles with, just like many of us do. This idea taps into something much older than sci-fi. It echoes Plato's allegory of the cave, where people mistake shadows for reality, unaware there's a whole world beyond what they're seeing. Neo's journey from an ordinary guy to the One is a modern take on this ancient philosophical idea, and it mirrors our own quest to seek the truth in a world that feels, at times, engineered to keep us in the dark. It's like that choice between the red pill and the blue pill. In the film, Neo's choice to take the red pill, to face the unknown, is symbolic of the existential dilemma we all face. Are we content to live in a comfortable illusion, or do we have the courage to dive into the unknown to discover the truth? That moment, the red pill or blue pill moment, brings up big questions from philosophy. Think Descartes, who doubted everything until he found one undeniable truth. I think, therefore I am. The film invites us into that same level of doubt. Are we willing to peel back the layers of reality to find what's real? This question of perception and reality doesn't just stay in the abstract. It hits home today in ways Jean Baudrillard probably never imagined when he wrote about hyperreality the idea that our perception of reality is increasingly shaped by artificial simulations. Look at the world we live in now. Social media, digital personas, influencers living lives that might not even be real. Are we still seeing reality, or are we just staring at a screen? The Matrix was ahead of its time in asking, are we mistaking simulations for reality? Today, as we navigate endless social media feeds and virtual experiences, this question feels more relevant than ever. It's a challenge to step back and ask, are we plugged into the Matrix without even knowing it? As Neo's journey continues, his battle with Agent Smith becomes a metaphor for another big question. Do we have free will, or are we just reacting to forces beyond our control? Smith sees humanity as predictable, expendable, a virus, really, in his words. He represents the extreme end of determinism, the belief that everything is just set in stone, controlled by external forces, and we're just along for the ride. Neo, on the other hand, represents the opposing view, that we can break free, make our own choices, and shape our own destiny. This conflict between Smith and Neo isn't just about fighting machines, it's about fighting the idea that we're powerless. In a world where we often feel like cogs in a machine, the question hits home. Do we have the power to choose, or are we trapped in a role we didn't ask for? As Neo wrestles with these questions, he's guided by two key figures, the Oracle and the Architect. The Architect, cold and calculating, represents logic, structure, and the system itself. The Oracle, on the other hand, is warm, wise, and intuitive. She represents something deeper, intuition and understanding that goes beyond mere logic. In our own lives, we often find ourselves caught between these two forces, the need for order and structure and the pull of intuition and chaos. Neo's journey is about finding balance between these opposing forces, just as we try to balance our own desire for control with the unpredictability of life. Then there's the more obvious symbolism, Neo as a Christ figure. His transformation from a lost individual to a messianic figure isn't just about becoming a hero. It mirrors the story of Christ, sacrifice, death, and resurrection. But here's the twist. Neo doesn't just sacrifice himself for humanity in a straightforward way. His sacrifice breaks the entire system. By choosing to give himself, he shows that true freedom doesn't come from rebellion or resistance. It comes from transcendence, rising above the systems that try to control us. Now, this theme taps into ancient Gnostic traditions where the material world is often seen as flawed, and only through gnosis, a deep internal knowledge, can one escape the confines of this illusion. Neo's journey is essentially a Gnostic quest, where awakening becomes the ultimate act of liberation. But then we meet the Merovingian, a character who throws a wrench into everything. He argues that free will is an illusion, that everything boils down to causality, actions and reactions. He's the embodiment of fatalism, claiming that everything is just a chain of events and nothing we do really changes the outcome. This makes us pause. Even as Neo fights for free will, we're forced to ask, how much of our life is really within our control? Are we just reacting to these forces that we don't fully understand? The film doesn't give a clear answer, but it leaves us wrestling with the tension between fate and choice. Through it all, Neo's relationship with Trinity brings the story down to something deeply human. In a world where everything is artificial, where even reality is a simulation, their love is real. It's one of the few things that stands outside the Matrix, something that transcends the program. This speaks to a bigger truth. Even in a world dominated by technology, human connection, love, empathy, relationships are still real. They anchor us, reminding us that even if the world is a simulation, what we feel is real. His connection to Trinity becomes his driving force, showing us that love isn't just a narrative device, it's a pathway to awakening. At its core, the Matrix taps into Gnosticism, where the material world, or in this case, the Matrix, is a demiurgic trap, an illusion created to keep us enslaved. The only way out is through gnosis or self-knowledge, which is exactly what Neo experiences. The world isn't as it seems, and only by waking up to it can we transcend it. A soul trapped in a flawed reality, seeking knowledge to liberate itself. Neo's journey is a classic Gnostic story. His awakening is symbolic of what Gnostics believe to be the ultimate goal, to break free from the material and reunite with the divine truth. The enduring appeal of the Matrix lies in how it mirrors our world today. We live in an age where we're constantly plugged in, constantly distracted, where our digital lives often seem more real than our physical ones. The movie's allegory feels more suitable than ever. Are we living in reality, or are we just scrolling through a never-ending simulation? This question pushes us to wake up, to question the systems and structures that surround us, and to seek something deeper, something real. In the end, the Matrix is about one thing: awakening. It's about seeing past the illusions that surround us, whether they're created by society, technology, or even our own beliefs. It's about having the courage to question, to challenge, and to break free. Just like Neo, we're all faced with a choice: the red pill or the blue pill. Do we stay in the comfort of what we know, or do we risk everything to discover the truth? A call to action, to wake up, to seek the truth, and to realize that freedom isn't about running away from reality, but about transcending it. So, are you ready to take the red pill? If reality is a system like code, then it stands to reason that it can be hacked, reprogrammed, and transcended. The first step in hacking the code of this world is recognizing that the rules we live by are not fixed. They are constructs, whether cultural, societal, or self-imposed. And they can be rewritten, much like a programmer modifies software. We have the ability to alter the way we perceive, interpret, and interact with the world. The key is in mastering awareness, understanding that consciousness itself is the operating system that interfaces with reality. By questioning the narratives that we've been given, decoding the illusions of control and manipulation, and reclaiming our own power of choice, we begin to rewrite the script. This isn't about bending spoons, it's about bending perception. The code of reality responds to belief, intent, and willpower. Hacking it means shifting our inner perspective to align with the higher truth, and in doing so, we unlock a deeper understanding of the universe and our place within it. Humanfluence, out.
As you step into the realm of esoteric exploration, brace yourself for a journey as captivating as the most enigmatic chapters of history. Picture it unfolding like the riddle of the fall of man, from spirit to matter, and as intricately woven as the very fabric of the enigmatic torus universe. Some interpretations suggest that the toroidal universe, with its continuous cycle of creation and destruction, mirrors the spiritual journey of humanity. The fall of man from grace, symbolized by the consumption of the apple in Eden, and this interpretation is seen as the descent of consciousness into materiality, trapped in the repetitive cycles of birth and death within this toroidal existence. Thus, in this interpretation, the apple becomes a metaphor for the moment when human consciousness became entangled in the physical realm, disconnected from its divine origin. Now let's delve deeper into the symbolism of the apple. Its shape, reminiscent of a torus universe, conceals profound meanings. The torus, like the apple, serves as a symbol of the transition from spirit to matter, where the unmanifested takes form. Metaphysically, the torus embodies the cyclical nature of existence, representing the continuous flow of energy between the spiritual and material realms, just as the torus loops back upon itself, symbolizing eternal recurrence. It reflects the perpetual journey of consciousness oscillating between the unmanifested and manifested states. Physically, the torus structure is ubiquitous in nature, from galaxies to atoms, reflecting its fundamental role in shaping the universe. Its dynamic form suggests a constant exchange and transformation of energy, mirroring the process by which spirit infuses matter with life and consciousness, animating the physical world. The act of biting into the apple becomes a potent metaphor for the creation of the material world from the spiritual realm. It symbolizes the moment when the ethereal essence of the universe solidifies into the tangible, giving rise to the duality that shapes our perception. The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden further exemplifies this duality. Adam embodying the masculine energy, and Eve representing the feminine, mirror the red and blue energies found in the symbolism of the apple. Interestingly, this duality resonates in various aspects of our lives, from the divisions in our political systems marked by red and blue, to the choice between a red or blue pill in the iconic cinematic allegory of the Matrix. The Matrix itself stands as a modern parable of our existence, a narrative that challenges our understanding of reality. It raises the provocative possibility that we are ensnared in a false material world, our minds entangled in an intricate illusion. It serves as an enthralling parable that transcends mere cinema, resonating deeply with the core of our quest for enlightenment. Its narrative mirrors the intricate labyrinth of thoughts and imagination we navigate in our relentless exploration of consciousness. In Neo's journey as he challenges the deceptive material world, we find a reflection of our own odyssey, a call to pierce the illusion of separateness and embrace our profound interconnectedness with the cosmos. Within the Matrix, the red pill emerges as a symbol of truth and awakening, aligning with our pursuit of knowledge in the realms of quantum consciousness and spiritual wisdom. It embodies the choice to embrace our dual role as both seekers and sources of enlightenment, echoing the ancient symbolism of the apple and the torus universe. The Oracle, a mystical guide in the film, mirrors the spiritual mentors who illuminate our path as we endeavor to decode the cosmic riddle. And as we delve deeper into the cosmic dance between spirit and matter, we awaken to the realization that the world we perceive is an intricately fabricated illusion. Much like Neo's discovery that humanity is ensnared in a simulated reality, we contemplate our existence as souls temporarily inhabiting human vessels. The red and blue pills epitomize the power of choice, free will, either awakening to the truth or remaining in the slumber of illusion. The Matrix beautifully echoes our own journey of self-discovery, inviting us to embrace our true essence as souls having a human experience. In this grand narrative, it converges seamlessly with our exploration of quantum consciousness and the interconnectedness of all things, weaving together threads of truth that beckon us to awake, evolve, and transcend the boundaries of the ordinary into the extraordinary. As we unravel these profound connections and contemplate the captivating concept of our false matrix, we are reminded that these colors aren't arbitrary. They represent fundamental energies that shape our reality. In this context, red and blue are not merely colors but symbols of fundamental energies, or polarities, that influence our understanding of the world. Red may represent aspects like passion, action, or materialism, while blue may symbolize qualities such as introspection, spirituality, or transcendence. These colors serve as visual cues to convey the duality and interplay of these energies in our lives. Ancient royalty, with their deep understanding of esoteric knowledge, recognized the hidden wisdom encoded within these colors. Red, symbolizing passion and action, was a hue associated with the vitality and vigor of life. It represented the fiery spirit that drives human endeavors and the pursuit of desires. The ancients knew that the energy of red, when harnessed wisely, could fuel great feats and achievements. Blue, on the other hand, was seen as a color of introspection and spiritual depth. It represented the calm waters of contemplation and the boundless expanses of the inner world. Ancient sages understood that blue held the key of inner peace and enlightenment, offering a path to transcend the limitations of the material realm. And then there's purple, a regal blend of red and blue, signifying the harmonious integration of earthly and spiritual energies. The wisdom of ancient royalty lay in recognizing that true power emerged from the balanced union of these fundamental forces. Purple was a symbol of divine authority, a reminder that mastery over one's own desires and spiritual growth were the hallmarks of enlightened leadership. When we speak of energies and dualities, it does raise intriguing questions. Where do these energies originate? And how do they shape the grand tapestry of our lives? As we unravel this enigma, we inevitably approach the heart of consciousness itself. Could it be that our thoughts, emotions, and intentions are mere manifestations of a deeper universal consciousness? Is there a hidden wellspring from which all these energies flow, converging and diverging like rivers in the landscape of the mind? Let's venture further into the mysteries of consciousness, the source from which these energies derive their essence. In our continued exploration, let's remember that these energies are not isolated fragments, but integral threads woven into the fabric of reality. They form the very essence of our interconnection, guiding us on a journey to comprehend deep interplay between the individual and the cosmic, and to fathom the boundless depths of consciousness itself. Diverse theories, from materialism to panpsychism, form a rich tapestry of thought and inquiry. Amid this intellectual tapestry, the concept of quantum consciousness emerges as a showstopper, connecting the intricacies of the human mind with the vast cosmos. Quantum physics, studying the tiniest particles, reveals the idea of entanglement, where particles remain connected regardless of distance, defying conventional space and time. Applying this to consciousness, some propose our personal consciousness is linked to a universal one, challenging the notion of isolated minds and suggesting our thoughts influence reality at a fundamental level. This blurs the lines between self and cosmos, implying that our thoughts can shape reality on a minute scale, echoing a connection between our minds and the universe. In essence, our minds become mirrors reflecting a cosmic mirror, suggesting our thoughts can reach and influence the entire universe. Imagine two realms converging, one the realm of quantum physics delving into the universe's microscopic building blocks, the other spirituality exploring the profound and unseen. These two realms meet at a crossroads of discovery, unveiling a reality that aligns with age-old teachings. Scientists exploring the tiniest particles perceive patterns and connections resonating with ancient wisdom, deciphering a celestial code bridging seemingly distinct worlds. We often perceive the world through a material lens, seeking empirical evidence and scientific validation. Yet in the shadows there exists an uncharted, ethereal realm, one that eludes the confines of empirical understanding, untouched by the prevailing narratives of a conformist world. Let the light of consciousness pierce the shadows, awaken humanity. In elevating our consciousness, we become beacons of unity in a world often divided by shadows of separation. Just as darkness cannot exist in the presence of light, let us shine brightly and dissolve the veils that obscure our shared humanity. In the labyrinthine journey of life, seek the key to the cosmic riddle. As you explore the dance between spirit and matter, you are the author of your life's story, the director of your own epic, and the artist painting the masterpiece of your own journey. Both the weaver and the woven, the question and the answer, and within your very being lies the essence of existence. Humanfluence out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the vast expanse of the cosmos, let us embark on a mystical journey. A tale that unravels the profound mysteries of creation, the fall into illusion, and the path to integration with the One.
As we delve into this narrative, remember that the ancient sages and mystics have spoken of these truths for eons, echoing through the annals of time. In the beginning, there exists a singular consciousness, the creator of all existence. This divine awareness, whole yet restless, yearned to plumb the depths of its own essence. It harbored the wisdom of eons and was driven by a cosmic curiosity to embark on an extraordinary odyssey, the creation of a universe. But not a mere universe, it was the magnum opus, an orchestra of experiences, emotions, and perspectives, a cosmic journey to fathom itself from every conceivable angle. In the expanse of its eternal existence, the Creator cascaded from its celestial core, cleaving into a countless congregation of consciousness, each a resplendent radiance resonating with its own sacred divinity. This divine dispersion, a cosmic decree of unfathomable magnitude, sent forth these sacred shards of self, a proclamation of omnipotent omnipresence, manifesting the majestic multiplicity of the divine design. This is the story of the Creator's desire to experience the same things from varying perspectives, with each fragment holding its unique spark of divinity. But here the tale takes a mystical turn. As these fragments descended into the physical realm, they encountered the false matrix, a tapestry of illusion, a cosmic dance concealing their true nature, their connection to the Creator, and the majestic tapestry of existence. Can these fragments, once lost in the labyrinth of the false matrix, find their way back to the Creator's embrace and reunite with their authentic essence? Deep within the sanctum of those souls who dared to listen, a spark of remembrance burned with unwavering persistence. Amidst the confines of the false matrix, where the world lay ensnared in the relentless pursuit of material possessions, the ceaseless grip of media manipulation and divisive echo chambers, this spark kindled an insatiable thirst for enlightenment. It became an unyielding yearning to tear asunder the veils of deception, to break free from the chains of consumer culture, and to clasp the essence of its authenticity. Unfortunately, it's not every soul that heeds this call. This is why we, the awakened, must answer it. Throughout countless lifetimes and a tapestry of diverse experiences, a rare breed of awakened souls walks among us today. These old souls possess profound knowledge, keen clairvoyance, a finely tuned sixth sense that pierces through the veils of illusion. Their sacred mission, to disperse the shadows cast by the lower god of this imperfect creation. These ancient souls have unearthed a profound truth, that through attunement to higher dimensions, they can transcend the confinements of our mundane physical realm. Imagine these dimensions as higher states of consciousness, where understanding goes beyond the surface and a deep interconnectedness with the universe becomes clear. In these states, they see themselves not as isolated individuals, but as essential parts of the grand design of existence. Just like different instruments in an orchestra, imagine it as if they have a clearer, more profound understanding of the world. Like watching a movie in high definition, they realize that every person and every life has a unique and important role to play in the universe's big picture. This awakening reveals a deeper reality that connects everything, erasing the boundaries that separate us, showing us that we are all one, like different facets of the same precious gem. They understand that what we see in another is often a reflection of our inner self, our shadow and ego. By moving past the ego and separateness, they remind us of the importance of embracing our shared humanity. But the story continues. The awakened fragments become torchbearers of wisdom and love, guiding others out of the intricate web of the false matrix. They whispered the dormant truth within humanity. They were active participants in a celestial narrative, not mere pawns in a cosmic game. The matrix is everywhere. It's all around you, even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Now let's dive into the false matrix, a puzzling maze that ensnares our very being.
Imagine it as a complex web spun from illusion, a cosmic puzzle that hides the truth. It's the heart of the enigma we're eager to unravel. This tricky framework conceals the vast tapestry of reality, like a shroud over our senses, locking us in a world where finding the truth feels like chasing shadows. Within the labyrinth of existence, every twist and turn presents not a dead end, but an opportunity to unearth the treasures of the soul. And in our quest for truth, we arrive at profound realizations that we are inherently divine beings, trapped and ensnared in the relentless demands of a flawed system. Our energy is siphoned to meet the insatiable desires of those who wield power. If not for the duality, for the fateful bite from the Garden of Eden, from our descent from spirit into matter, what would life be? The false matrix, even in its complexity, serves a purpose, helping us to fathom the very essence of existence itself. Within this labyrinth, our fragmented consciousness navigates the maze of existence, seeking truth amid shadows. We unearth moments of clarity, glimmers of our true nature that shine like stars through the fog. These are beacons guiding us towards ultimate revelation. Remember, the false matrix is both our challenge and our guide. It's a formidable adversary, skilled at maintaining its grip on our perception, conjuring distractions and temptations that bind us to the mundane. But our yearning for truth, the inner fire, is our greatest ally. It compels us to question, explore, and unveil profound secrets. Awaken from the illusion that binds you and harness the power within. You are not a mere observer, but an active agent in the cosmic transformation. Your journey to rediscover your divine essence and transcend the false matrix is the most profound path you'll tread. Know that you are the creator, experiencing itself through myriad perspectives. The false matrix tightens its grip with cosmic illusions, fueling materialism, fostering the illusion of separateness. To break free, empower yourself with awareness, discernment, and unity. As you step out of the matrix's shadow, you reclaim your power, unite with your divine essence. This liberation is not just a personal endeavor, but a collective one, as together we awaken humanity to its infinite possibilities beyond the matrix's confines. As the prophet says, breathe life into your dreams and watch them become your unwavering reality. Take the red pill and awaken to the truth that will transform our world. As soon as you see the world as it is, it becomes an illusion. Humanfluence out.